Hey y'all, what is up? It's your boy AJ Tripp, and welcome to the Word According to Me. This one, we're going into video game territory, why Madden and EA really need to fix their game. So Madden NFL 20 has been out for a couple of months now, and so at the 4 or 5 months that I've been playing the game, it's a great game, and I enjoy playing it and I have fun playing it. Um, but I also don't think that it's not perfect. Obviously, there are things that they do for this game that they need to do, and they need to fix, and they don't fix. And I think that's one of the big things that is wrong with this, is that they don't like really work out the kinks. They take the game and they do some switches. Like this year, there are definitely some things that were added to this year that there was not on last year, but that they definitely decided on just saying, no, not really. So, um, I think what they really need to do, in my opinion, is to have some minor tweaks here and there to certain things in this game, I think, to make it an overall better game. And I'm going to go through those things with you in this episode. And hopefully, the good folks over at Madden and EA and everything like that, they'll come across this somehow, or they'll watch this and they'll look at it and maybe they'll think about it, fixing some of these things. More than likely they won't, because all of us are just going to go ahead and buy the game next year, and as it is, and they'll fix minor tweaks here and there to certain things, but it really does need to be a big time fix with the game. So yeah, I really wish they would fix it, but obviously they won't. So, but anyway, that's what I'm here for. I'm here doing this video to give my thoughts on what should be changed and what should not be changed, added, subtracted, things like that. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started with hopefully the fixing of the Madden video game franchise. Number one, cornerbacks should be able to follow wide receivers. They had this in a game a while back, but I really do think that if you have a cornerback, and maybe even if you want to add that on with like the superstar X factors and things like that, if you want to put them at that, fine. Where a corner can follow the number one wide receiver. So if you get Jalen Ramsey and he has the X factor, he will follow the number one wide receiver with that X factor, even if that's the way you wanted to do it. I think even that would be something, but they need to have a way to be able to have the cornerbacks follow the wide receivers. And I would also say this: even if maybe you have a cornerback who doesn't have that X factor, so the X factor, he would do it automatically. But even if you want to do it manually, right? And let's say you just you thought um, Marcus Peters. I wouldn't maybe give Mark. I don't think Marcus Peters would be a shutdown corner. But let's say you wanted to you wanted to put Marcus Peters on Devontae Parker of the Miami Dolphins. Just for whatever reason, you feel like he's the only one that could beat you this week, right? So then maybe that's what you do. You set it. You set it. Like on the screen where Marcus Peters, your number one cornerback, would follow Devontae Parker, and vice versa. So if he goes into the slot, he'll be in the slot. If he goes to the X, he'll be the X or the Y or the Z or the whatever. Even if he's lined up in the backfield, right? Wherever at, the cornerbacks should follow the wide receiver. Number two, the custom stadiums and everything that goes along with that. When you either relocate or you want to rebuild your stadium, whatever, and that's sometimes I like to do. I like to. I think I like to play with the Buffalo Bills, and I like to take them out of that stadium they're in and put them in a brand new facility, right? And I think that would be fun. But I think one of the things that they have, I have no problem with the stadium types. I don't. I think the stadiums that they come up with, they have are fine. If they wanted to keep those stadiums, that would be perfectly fine. But I think what you need to do with those stadiums, however, is to be able to choose like the type of field you want to play on. And I know some people may say that's a minor ability. Well, it's not for me, because I think that football needs to be played on natural grass. I don't think it needs to be played on field turf. So if you're choosing a stadium like the Canopy Stadium, or if you're choosing the futuristic stadium, if you're choosing an outdoor stadium, right? Or even maybe if you're choosing a retractable roof stadium, you should be able to have the option to choose what type of field you want to play on. Do you want to play on field turf, or do you want to play on natural grass? It gives you the pros and cons for each one. How much, what each one costs, things like that. So that you can make an informed decision on what you want to do. And I think that needs to be added to the choose the stadium thing. I also think what needs to be added is maybe when it comes when you're talking about this thing, you can also expand that into the relocation. And many people have said this before. You need new places to move. I mean, it's the same places all over again. It's the same cities, and it's the same thing. And some may say, well, who's going to move the Buffalo Bills to Fargo, North Dakota? Well, maybe there's somebody who's playing Madden in Fargo, North Dakota, who wants a team in Fargo, North Dakota, and they want to move a team there. So let them be able to move their team to Fargo, North Dakota. You know, I think that's what it's. I think that's what it needs to be. So I would like to see them do that with also like the whole relocation settings. Also, bring that all into the stadium, and how what do you do when you choose, and other things like that. And then I guess you could also say, like, you can also do, come up with some um more team names, more characters, more things like that, or even do what NBA 2K does, and have, be able to have your people upload it to the system, people who create things, and then you can download those costumes, those colors, those uniforms. It's like NBA 2K does that, where you can, if you want to create the Seattle Supersonics, you can do that. And then maybe what I'm thinking about that, because what you can do in NBA 2K is that you can also expand. So maybe you can also bring in expansion, right? Bring in expansion into the NFL. So I've always thought that the NFL should probably expand one more time, go from 32 teams to 36 teams, and then have that where you would play the 5 teams in your division, home and home. That would be 10, and then you would play a team. You would play teams across in another division for those 6 games, and that's how you would get your 16 games, in the season. So I think you can easily do that. And then you obviously would um, rotate years. You would, it would go back to 3 divisions, right? It would go back to 3 divisions in each conference, and then, like, so if you the East, the East, the West, and the Central, and the AFC and the NFC, and then that's how you would go ahead and do that, and then you would have, so that if you're the AFC East, you could, your rotation would be the East, West, Central, and then blah 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 blah. So but the guys. So I've always thought they should be able to do that. But maybe now you should bring that into Madden and be able to do something like that with Madden, like you can do with NBA 2K. So, but overall, what this started with was the stadiums, and being able to put more creativity into the stadiums, of how they look, of how they act, and definitely the most important thing, what kind of field you're going to play on. The third thing is they need to fix the snow. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I think a couple of years ago they had the snow like right where the snow would, it would come down and it would stay that down and it would, and even though when you played on the field, it's still the falling snow would still fall and cover the parts where you had, from the players moving in the footprints and everything like that. So apparently, if you play like a exhibition game, they have a thing where you can pick light rain and heavy rain. So if what they wanted to do was the snow that they have right now is light snow, yeah, that's fine. We can keep that, and that's totally fine. But then let's also have heavy snow where the snow, it continues to fall down and it continues to, follow the thing. So even if you wanted to, right? So like when you first play the game, the lines are drawn, are shoveled, have been shoveled and everything like that. So you can see where the 50 and the, yard line is. And you see where the touchdowns are. You can see all of that stuff. But then maybe at the first quarter, you see that what was shoveled, what has been filled back up. So then, so by the time the end of the first quarter is, and maybe even have a screen, you have a screen where, to transition from the first quarter to the second quarter, and you could have it where the um where there's a screen of where the workers, the grounds crew of the stadium is shoveling the snow so that you can, or maybe even driving that little tractor so that uncovering the numbers again or something. So. But they really need to fix how that snow is used and how that snow is done. Um, I think in the game they really need to fix that. Four, um, I love the way that I love the one of the changes they had this year, which I loved, is the way you came in and out of the huddle. So when you in past years when you would select your play, it would be like ready break, and you would see them breaking out of the huddle and having everybody walk to the, to the line, and then everybody, getting ready and getting set, and it would kind of take a long time. The way they've done it this year is that when you select the play, everybody's already at the line, and the quarterback is kind of, and each quarterback seems to be different. Each one that they're doing their several ways, whether they're adjusting things. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick can adjust stuff, or they have some things where some people are looking and they pointing and doing everything like that before they get into their stance on the center. I like that. I think I like that. I would like for them to keep that the way it is. However, I think the one con that came from that is that when you're doing a no huddle, they just automatically take out like 12 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever. And I think that's not the way. I think that you can even maybe possibly even do that quicker, because I think you can even maybe get, have that quicker. So so you know when you're not doing a no huddle offense, yeah, keep the way you come in and out of the huddle. Keep that energy. But if you are doing a no huddle offense, then I would say have it like you had in the past, where you would see everybody running towards the line of scrimmage and have them running. Because I think there is a possibility that you can get to the line of scrimmage quicker than the 12 or 13 seconds that they take off. I don't think they take off more than 12, but I think you can get there to the line quicker than 12. So I would say, for the regular offense, keep the quick way that you are coming in and out of the huddles. I like that. But if you're doing a no huddle offense, hurry up offense, whatever you want to call it, change it. Change it back to have the players running towards the line of scrimmage. Number 5, the challenges. What happened to the challenges? I don't know. I haven't been able to challenge anything, and there hasn't been really any challenges brought on from the replay booth either. There's been no turnover challenges, and there's been no touchdown challenges, and nothing like that. And I just think that they took that out the game for some reason. I don't know why. I know it's a video game, and I know that, but I think that they made it fun part that you could challenge whether somebody caught the ball or something like that. Because there's been a couple times where Something has happened, and there was one game in particular, and I don't know if I have video of it. If I have video of it, I'll obviously put it up. You'll see it, now. But I was playing the Rams against the 49ers, and I threw a pass into the end zone, and it was picked off. However, the defensive back who picked it off only got 1 foot in bounds. He only got 1 foot in bounds, and it was obvious. But replay did not bring it up. I couldn't. Replay did not challenge it. I could not challenge it. I mean, so I lost a turnover right there, and that's not what it should be. And listen, if you don't want to get into the whole challenges of pass interference, anything like that, I totally get that. You don't have to make the let the real world let the real NFL deal with whether pass interference is there or not. They are having hell of a lot of trouble with it this season, in their first season of doing this. But if you don't want to do that in a game, fine. But there should be some other things that you should be able to challenge. And the challenges should come automatically on turnovers and touchdowns, just like you do in real life. So let's bring back the challenges. I don't know why you guys took that out in the first place. Number 6 is the punt and kickoff views. Oh, so again, I know this one is just like maybe the stadium thing would be geared more towards me. And I think this would be geared towards me as well, because I'm probably one of very few people who play Madden on broadcast view. I play it the way that we see it on TV from the sideline cam, broadcast cam. I play it like that. That's how I play it. I don't think playing it any of the other ways that doesn't make sense to me, because that's not how it's shown on television. It's just not. So why So that's just me, right? So I understand that there are some different things like that, but I still think that there should be some difference on what you do with broadcast camp, because one of the things that on broadcast camp is that they do they do kickoffs and punts so crazy on there, because when you select broadcast cam, you don't kick off or you don't punt from the broadcast. You punt from the behind view, and that's not how. Again, when you watch on TV, you don't punt from behind. They don't show you a team punting from the behind the play view, the all 22 cam or whatever you want to call it. They don't do that. It's from the broadcast, and that's how that should be on this video game. And that frustrates me. And this year, there's been some really effed up stuff going along with it, because not only when you go for a field goal or extra punt or extra point, which, by the way, I kind of understand that, because they do use the all 22 cam to just do that. So if you wanted to do punts, and if you want to do field goals and extra points that way, I totally understand it, because that's the way it's shown on television. But during these plays, there have been times when the meter will not appear, and you look into. So what happens? In fact, I remember I lost a game. I was playing one of my old Tennessee Titans seasons, and I lost a game by an extra point, because by a point, because the thing went away, the meter went away, and I couldn't see how far to go up, and when it comes back down, I couldn't make a timing right, and I missed the extra point. But the biggest thing that really pissed me off this season is like the punts. So when you get backed up in your own end, like inside the 15, inside the 10, and you need to punt, Now you can't even see the meter to punt. The meter will be there, but you can't see it because the thing is down there at the bottom. The scroll is down there at the bottom. And it's just all scrunched up, so you don't even see the meter, so you don't even know when to punt. So you can be behind thing, and you can have a good punter who can make maybe a 50, 60 yard punt, to get to try to, get them into some bad field position, but you don't know where the meter is, so you don't know how to accurately do it, so you end up making a 33-yard punt, and they have the ball in your territory. It's so frustrating. It really is. It's absolutely frustrating. So they need to fix this back. So, if you play on broadcast, you should be able to punt and kick off in the broadcast view. Again, if you're doing extra points and field goals, if you want to use the all 22 cam, you can definitely do that. I understand it. But punting and kicking off needs to be on the broadcast view, because that's how we see it on TV. Number 7, why are the equipment this year somehow is changing? I don't know if you guys have seen this now. I don't know if you create players, again, this may be just another one for me. If you create players and things like that, but I create players and things like that, and I put them into the games, and I give them all of these colorful things. I give them sleeves that are team colors, and elbow pads that are team colors, and gloves that are team colors, and things like that. But one thing that I saw this season that for some reason was really frustrating and irritating was that with certain times, depending on what if you was home or away, or if you was doing color rush. Well, yeah, with color rush is different. They've always done that with color rush. The color rush, they've always changed the color rush. So I'm not gonna do the color rush. They can keep that in. But depending on what you're home and away, and I have some video of this, to where the home colors is the normal things, where it's okay, so if you have orange, if you with the Browns and you have orange wristbands, okay, that's fine. That's your that's the secondary color for the Browns, right? Secondary color wristbands would be orange. But then if if you go on the road, right, they don't be orange. They are now white for some reason. So I'm trying to figure out why they white. It should be orange. The secondary color for the Browns is orange. So it should be It should be orange whether I'm on the road or at home. Not depending on what jersey I wear. And there are other things too that are just so frustrating. And I can get into a whole thing about the equipment and things like that. And for the most part, they do a good job with it. But they could go, I think, one more deep. They could go deeper, one more level with the equipment. But and with Major League Baseball, the show, by putting some numbers on them or something like that. But I don't know. It doesn't look like that in. There's no numbers or anything like that, or like that for football. So maybe the level that they are at is good, and it's fine. I'm not asking them to try to make it just improve it or anything like that. What they get is good. What I'm just asking them to do is make it so that if I set the a football player's wristbands to be their secondary color for the team that they play on, I want it to be a secondary color whether it's at home or on the road. That's what I'm saying. I want them to fix that. And finally, let's fix the cold weather. When you play a cold weather game in December and you're outside in Pittsburgh or Chicago or Denver or Philadelphia, somewhere cold, um, let's see the breath. Let's see the cold breath. They've had this in the game before, where you could see them breathing, and you could see the cold breath, them breathing the cold breath in and out. I think that was a fun aspect of the game. They took that out this year, and also, so when players are on the sidelines and they have their helmet off, we see a lot of you can see the heat coming from their head. Let's add that too. And doing these cold weather games, if you want to put hats on players, Wool hats. I think that'd be a good look too. But let's make it so that we can have their heads like come out. Let's do that. That the heat come from their heads. So let's add the cold breath back. Bring back the cold breath and add heat coming from their heads in the December games in outdoor weather. All right, y'all. That's those are my fixes for Madden and um everything like that. Those are just some of the things that I see. Let me know down in the comment section. Were there any things that you think you'd like to see? Let me know if there are things that you'd like to see change, or if you'd like to see be added or taken back, brought back. If they took out something that you loved, um, and you want to see it brought back, let me know down in the comment section. Again, maybe this may be somebody from Madden, somebody from EA will come across this video and look in the comment section, because I don't know, because I will say this, even though WWE 2K had they seem like they've had a horrible PR with WWE 2K20, the game has been broke from day one, anything like that. At least one of the things they did do back in the spring, early spring, was that they had they on their forums they asked our opinion of what we would like to see in the game, what we would like to see in the game. You don't even get that with Madden. I don't know. You try to go to the Madden forums and you try to go like on Reddit or anything like that, and there's nothing there to say what would you like to see in the game. How can we help build a better game? Or anything like that. They don't do anything like that. They don't care, because first of all, one, they're the only football game around, and for me, I've always been okay with that, because I've been a Madden guy all the time. I thought Madden has always been the best game. So I was okay. No other games we're gonna make football games, because I was only gonna probably buy Madden to begin with. But I think now they need competition. They need somebody. They need competition. So it's probably not gonna happen. The Madden and EA will probably still have the exclusive NFL license to make the only NFL football game. That's probably gonna be for forever. But if it doesn't, and someone else can come out, whether it's 2K or whether it's someone else come out and use the NFL license and make a video game, that could be what could make the straw break the camel's back with Madden. Because right now, being the only you know being the only gun in town is, they don't really have to try. Only thing they really care about is the MUT, the Madden Ultimate Team, and how to fix that and how to do that, because that comes with the micro transactions and the things that happen with there, people buying stuff and things like that to get the stuff that they need for their Madden team. So that's what they really truly only care about, and they care a little bit, for my opinion, too much about also like the stuff to bring in the casual fans. I do not care about any story mode. There should not be a story mode in football. There should not be a story mode in any of these other sports. Let's focus on the game, making the gameplay, the franchise mode, the season mode, whatever, making that the better game. Don't give me something where I try to become QB1 from college to pro. I don't care. I don't care. And really, how many casual fans does that bring in? 2,000, 3,000 maybe? That's not enough so that, because there's more people who buying the game than they're buying the game for the actual game. So I think that really needs to kind of change and slow down. So, but yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJ Tripp signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.